to start using, so that way I can have them for the collective. And I started to channel as I'm writing it down. So this is stuff that they want me to know in the now, right? So this is the last one that I just wrote, and then I realized, wait, they want me to actually talk about this stuff right now. So it's not something, so this is the one. The family was jealous of your grandmother's gifts and tried to be her after she passed away. Okay? So some family members actually tried to, y'all, was prancing around the house as if they was a grandma, was putting on her jewelry and her clothes as if they was actually grandma. Yeah. They, like, y'all, how sick is that? So, and this is family. So family did that. So after your grandma passed, they wanted to be your grandma so bad they would prance around and be like grandma, right? Prance around the house, act as if, dress in her clothes, try to be her, portray her. So they've been trying to be people for quite some time. And we're going to dig deeper, okay, on what these cards mean. So I'm going to shuffle some cards, you guys. Nobody's in the live, but guess what? I don't care. I'm going to keep giving these messages. I'm going to cut this in half, but I'm going to mix up some cards because I want to see how they want me to tell it. About these people who have a lot to do with her passing, and then have the nerve to portray, right? Have the nerve to portray the individual who passed. Again, these are people who are trying to pick up on other people's personas, right? And then claim to be, they're just like them. But in all, they just studied them, right? They studied them, their behavior, their demeanor, their gifts, how they communicate with people. They're studying them, right? So this is me. I have some new cards, you guys. So I'm shuffling them a little bit, shuffling this deck here, and we're going to mix this up a little bit. These are blank cards that I'm moving. What is this? They all went against you in some way. So this is for the grandma too. So this is for family too. Yep, grandma's right here. And it says your favorite one, just like you. So the grandmother who is like you naturally. So me and my grandmother we're connected too. Okay. So you're naturally like your grandmother. Okay. You don't have to be. And I know they're going to say, well, you don't, my grandmother's real skinny, real frail, but it's not about that. It's about spiritually. Spiritually, we're very similar. Okay. But they all went against you in one way. But now this is about the family who was jealous of grandmother's gifts and then tried to portray her after she passed. So if you guys have family that people, hold on, I'm going to read that in a second. I'm going to read your comments in a minute. But if you guys have family members who have spiritual gifts and stuff, if you have family members who have passed away and you can tell that people are trying to be more like them, right, after their passing, try to portray them, dress like them, be more like them. Right? Take note of that mentally. Right? Because if they weren't like that before, right? But then all of a sudden a passing comes and they're this different person. Right? Someone's passed and then they try to pick up on their persona and walk around like they're them. Now this is going back down memory lane. Okay, this is going way back on memory lane. Okay, let me read some of the comments. The first one. Yeah, no. Yeah, so your grandma, if you're close to your ancestors, I don't care what nobody else say. If you're close to family members, you don't even have to have met them. Spiritually, y'all know each other. Okay? Spiritually, y'all share more than they think. Okay? And they're jealous of that. It bothers them. How do you know this? But how? But they don't understand it. Okay? But this is what's going on with some of the family. Okay, especially grandmothers, and this could be for other people. It could be grandmothers. It could be other family members that they notice where they all went against you in some way. So this happened to your grandmother. They went against your grandmother. A lot of people went against your grandma. It was a lot of them. She knew it. She knew everything that was coming. She knew who didn't like her. She knew the plan and everything. Take these cards out here and then move these, because these are blank cards here, so they don't want me to pull blank cards. Let me pull this one. What does it say? Family, y'all, this just came back up. These two were blank, and this came back up. This says family was jealous of. So this card, they want me to talk about this. They want me to talk about how jealousy in family, what happens with that, okay, and then how they act after passing, okay. And this, it could be grandmother, it could be different people, but this is saying your grandmother. So this is generational gifts that's been passed down, okay, because these gifts didn't just start with you. You wasn't the first one with them, right? But it's been generational. Down the line, these gifts were passed on, okay, from once. But here's the thing: when they're passed on, they're passed down to certain people. See, they thought it was gonna go to them. They thought, oh well, I'll be around them. I'll fake pretend to take care of them and love them. You don't think your mother knew that you didn't really like her? You didn't think they knew that your whatever family member that they knew, but they were hoping for some type of redemption at one point, that they changed their heart. But they passed, right? And that same person tried to take on because really, mom, grandmother, the generation before you didn't even like her. And this person knows who I'm talking about. This family knows who I'm talking about, but it was more than one. It was more than one person. It's been spiritual warfare for a minute. And you know why certain ones wouldn't go back to the house after the passing? You ever wonder why they never went back to go check, to go see, they knew what was going on. And they wasn't even in the physical home. How would they know what's going on if they wasn't a part of it? Hold on, you guys. I'm going to read this comment. Yeah, so they pretty much, they stole her shit. All her stuff. You know your grandma and whatever family member was all... They was all dolled up. They was all, they dressed to the gods, baby. I'm talking about that old school get down dress, always dressed up like they going somewhere, even if they're going just to their car. Every day they was dressed up, beautiful, had an essence, had a certain essence about them, had a certain way about them that lured people to them naturally. Okay? And so this is your whoever has spiritual gifts before you, because it skips generations when people be fucking up. You know, I'm just saying. It skips. You don't think you don't think, right? They all kind of want a piece of the spiritual gifts, but they're like, who has? And don't think that your family don't sit around and see. Well, does she have a gift? Does she have a gift? Okay, no, she probably got all. They sit down and they see who has it. They discuss it because they want to know who actually has these gifts that grandma had, because they all want it. Instead of going to grandma and when she was alive, or when she was, and saying, hey grandma, hey mother, right? Because it's my grandmother, but it's somebody else's mother, okay? That didn't even really care for them like that, and they knew they didn't really care for them like that. Okay, let's keep it real. Because they said grandma's gifts, everything grandma could do, she left it to someone. Who did she leave that to? See, everybody was worried about the wheel, the house, the car, the jewelry. Everybody was worried about that. Everybody wanted that, right? But nobody was like, first off, nobody just had the decency. They were still collecting money from her after she passed. Let's keep it 100. Pretending she was alive. Let's sip on that tea. A lot of them had something to do with it. Y'all, some of them went on drugs because they had so much to do with it. Oh, baby, I'm glad. Wait, let me see your name, because it's all in a blotch. Okay, that's a long name, y'all, but y'all can read it in the comments. I ain't even gonna pretend to say it, because if I don't know something, y'all, I just don't know it. I don't say it and I don't speak it. That's just me, for real, keeping it 100. But it was the house too, baby. You right. It's something about that house. Yeah, right on point. It's something about that house. But let me tell you about that house. Oh no, y'all! I don't want to actually project here. No, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be in the back house or the front house. I don't even want to know the color of the house. Because they'll take me there. They will take me there. Okay? Ooh, and I've been there before in my dreams. And I saw the stuff set up for my grandma's hospital bed. And I wasn't alive, y'all. I wasn't alive yet. I seen the, because this was way back. So I seen the hospital bed. I seen her stuff she had, the ventilators, all the little, it's not called diaper draw. It's like it's adult depends, because they depend on the type of thing. So don't call them diapers, because it depends. But the adult depends, because if you were to call it a diaper in front of her face, oh, you say she got a diaper on? You talking to my grandma? Oh. So she's like, no, you call it depends over here. Okay. So the adult depends. Should I put some respect on my name? Okay. The adult depends, right? I saw it all. I saw all in her setup. And they kept that door closed, but cracked just enough. Just so they can hear the sound of the ventilator, y'all. But this is for people who have family members who have spiritual gifts. And yes, it has a lot to do with that house. See, that house, talk about making deals with the devil. See, that house that grandma has set for the next generation. The grandma knew what she was doing. Everybody else around her had no idea the plans she had put in place, the plans that were supposed to be. Because they was too busy trying to take. Right? Everybody wanted to take. So, okay, let me hold on. This says, don't focus too much on the past, okay? So let's pull some cards. Should we, hold on, because they want me to chop them in half. Hold on. So this is about family who's jealous of grandma's gifts and tried to be her after she passed. Okay, so after she passed away, and there's a lot. The house, jewelry, furniture, clothes, everything. There's a lot. A lot. Okay, a lot. But they thought they was going to have it. Oh, you thought, wait, hold on. You thought you was going to have it? And literally, as it was in their hands, it melted. It melted through their hands. It melted. Because they couldn't have it. They couldn't hold on to it. It wasn't theirs for them to hold on to. So it literally went through their hands like, wait, but what happened to the jewelry? What happened to the house? What happened to the clothes? What happened to everything? But I thought, you thought wrong, bitch. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. They thought that they can take it and they can hold on to something that was not, for one, not supposed to be theirs. But two, they did it in such a way that was so evil and so disgusting and disturbing that grandma know. And y'all, my grandmother know. My grandmother knew. Y'all didn't think my grandmother knew, even on her deathbed, she knew. And all she wanted was more for her family. And this could be for other family members too. This could be for other families too. Who else has died that you know? See, I don't go to funerals, and I don't go to hospitals where people, I've never done, even as a kid, I wouldn't go. You couldn't pay me to go to a funeral. You couldn't pay me to go to the hospital. I wouldn't go. Okay, for one, where are we? It's a lot I knew at a young age, but I would never go. You couldn't force me. My mother, at that point, she knew she couldn't even force me. Because no, I'm not going. So certain things they didn't challenge me on, because I knew, I had a knowing. But pretty much, what is this card you see? They can't figure you out and study philosophy. Okay. Illusions. Okay. Because there's a lot going on back in them days. Okay. When the family member was passing, because it was the... I'm getting that they were okay with grandma passing because they knew that they'd still be able to benefit off of her without having to deal with her. Right? That's how some families are. They don't want to have to deal with you, but they can profit off of you. Okay? And then study philosophy came again. Okay? You're right about your father. So should we talk about grandpa? They know you're highly intelligent. You're connected to God. And they want you to give up. Okay? Where's those cards I just made? I just made cards, but you put them here. Hold on, because I was supposed to mix these two cards and I didn't. So maybe am I not supposed to mix these cards? It was a sacrifice. But why? Just for the house, the cars, all that stuff? Yep, sacrifice. So, okay. So in the midst of them trying to collect things from your all message. Okay, yeah, now I can see all live messages, y'all. Before I was struggling seeing this because y'all know I'm new to the thing. But yeah, a lot of stolen stuff, a lot of stuff. And then here's the thing, they want to steal the persona. So when the stuff melted out of their hands, they said, you know what? Damn, I ain't got none of this stuff. I can't take none of this stuff with me. Damn. So their plan had failed, right? So after their plan had failed, after the grandmother passed away, after their plans had failed with the house, selling of the house and doing all that stuff, see, they didn't know their enemies got enemies, and they didn't even know their enemies if they looked them in the eyes. So after the passing, right, they thought that everything was in the bag, everything was good. And yes, they shed tears. Some of them didn't show up because they knew in their consciousness what was going on. They knew, but they just decided not to show up. Okay, I want my new fresh cards, but they said just keep going. So this is about grandma's passing. Okay, let's talk about grandma's passing. Okay, the rising phoenix, use your intuition. So am I right about what I think? Because these people, they want to know who the spiritual gifts was going to be passed down to. Because they know at this point they can't take it. Like, how you going to take somebody's spiritual gifts? You can't sacrifice them and take it. They thought that. Grandmother already set it in place who was going to get it. See, she didn't even know me, but we knew each other. We know each other. You get what I'm saying? So she knew. She says, okay, not to that kid. Damn sure not to that one. Fuck no to that one. And hell no to that one. She's no. So you know what grandma's prayer was? I can tell you what she said. And I wasn't even in the room when she was praying. She wanted a certain family member. And it had a heart of gold. That's what she said, heart of gold. Right? She wanted a certain family member to have these gifts. Not just anybody. Because she knew it would be detrimental to the family if they had their hands on certain things. Matter of fact, she didn't even want them around her. At her sickest and at her illest, she actually said, close the door, get out of my room. Get out of my room. Well, I just come and get out of my room. Can barely talk, but she want them out of her room. Why? Why would the grandmother who needs the assistance, need the help, not want her children who are there to help her in the room? Because she knew. She had them do the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Okay? And which is change. And she didn't want them to do that, really. And they knew when she looked at them. Even the grandma before her, even her mother didn't even mess with them like that. Grandmother knew. Grandma knew. Grandma knew. She said, oh, damn, I gave birth to them. But it was a contract. It was a contract. And everything's supposed to happen. Okay? I'm looking for certain cards, you guys. They're all karmics. Spiritual chains are being broken. So these people tried to hold on to her, but not hold on to her physically, not hold on to her for the right things. These people tried to hold on to her for financial gain. Okay? That's what they did. Okay, so we're going to reshuffle these cards here. Okay? Because they're all over the place. Right? Now that's a sign and a lesson within itself. Because after everything went down, it was scattered. Everything was taken from them literally out of their hands and it was scattered all over the place. They left the house with it all scattered. Everything scattered. Everything in disarray. Where is that house at? I want to find it. You live in the city where the house is at. You just have to find it. I can't go in that house. Y'all know I was feeling. I can't. You've been there before. In the spiritual realm. You saw your granddad walk in the back of the thing. He looked sharp. He never really dressed fancy like that. But he still was always well groomed. You saw him going to the back. He already had his thing set up. You saw your grandma's door closed, and you saw your mother almost try to peek to see if your grandmother was awake or not. Yeah. Oh. They tried to play you, the whole family. We just talked about them trying to pick up on grandma's persona after she passed, right? Because as far as the gifts go, how she dresses, how she acts, how she speaks, they tried to pick up on the persona, right? Oh, I had some broccoli earlier, but whatever. My teeth. But they tried to pick up her persona and play her. Your whole family did. They all tried to, in some way, try to be more like her. And it's one thing to be like somebody with in certain intentions, but no, they tried to literally put on her jewelry, put on her clothes, and prance around as if they were her. Matter of fact, they did when she was alive. And ooh, they were trying to play her. Literally, they acted like my uncle was their son. Their brother was their son. They acted like they would act like they was the mother. And they love cooking for granddad. And they love prancing around the house in her jewelry and clothes on. While she was still alive, no wonder she couldn't stand them. Like, really? Like, that's how disrespectful. Disrespect. She called him and told him, take that shit off. She called him. She told her to take it off. She said, take it off. She said, take it off. Because she caught them. It wasn't them. No, it was them. It was them. It was more than one person. She called them. She said, take it off. Or why do you have that on? Yeah. Because they were playing her. They were playing the role as if they were her, and then that was their house. Okay? And so, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. But yeah, so they tried to play, I'm looking, they're all karmic. See, the whole family's karmic. She knew. She knew. Grandmother knew. Grandmother knew. Everybody knew. That's why they stay away from that side of the family. They knew. They knew what happened. But nobody said anything because they like, did they know? They knew. They knew who was involved. They knew. Because they said, how? How could somebody who has spiritual gifts, who's intuitive, y'all, these cards just pop back out. Look. The family was jealous of grandmother's gifts and tried to beat her after she passed. This card came out, the family card came out before this came out, right? And then this came out beginning. So this keeps popping up, is they tried to imitate and be more like grandma. Okay? Hey, I know I'm gonna start being on more often, girl. Like I had to stop because I just went back into my my healing phase, right? But I'm gonna start coming on more because there's so much messages that they want to give out because so many people are going through different things, generational curses, generational bondages, things like that that's been happening. So contracts and stuff like that, that they want people it to be known what's going on, what's been happening. Why is there a light going in my ear? Do y'all see that light going right in my ear? Y'all see this light here? It's the light, well, not the light, let me not call it the light. But you see the orb, that white orb. Okay, I see it going straight to my ear, right? And in my eye. I'm gonna let it be. Oh no, it's like this, like it's talking to me. Look, it's like, you see how it's going like this, as if it's actually talking and communicating with me. Do you guys see that? Y'all see this orb here? Okay, I'm so silly. Let me stop, because they be like, this gal right here. So, spiritual chains. Look, I look to the side here. It says spiritual chains and ties being broken. See, because the whole family has something to do with that. And then, so here's the thing. The money's running low. So now the money's running low and everybody's in financial need again. So what happens when they're in financial need? They got to sacrifice somebody. But you can't sacrifice just anybody. Oh, no, that's not how it works. No. Because, like, if you have a plate of food, right? You got a plate of broccoli. And some of the broccoli is already rotten on the inside. And some of the broccoli, the stem's all fucked up a little bit. And then some of the broccoli's fresh, right? Fresh and good and delicious. So you got different types of broccoli on a plate. Which one are you going to go for? Which one would you rather consume? You wouldn't want to consume the one that's rotten from the inside and out. You don't want to receive the one that's molded or cut up in a way that nobody really wants, right? You want to consume a certain one. Well, this is how it is when they talk about trying to sacrifice or trying to actually, yeah. You can't just pick any family member. Because shit, they're going to spit them right out. Like, no, we don't want that. That's nasty. Give me something else. What else you got? So that's kind of what's been going on, right? And it's the whole family. But what they didn't realize is your grandmother knew what was going to come after her. She knew that if they got me like this and they trying to get me like this, they're going to try to get the one who I want to pass the gifts down to. So how can she prevent that? So when my grandmother was struggling, right? On her last breath, do you know her prayers weren't like her? She knew what her prayers were. And it was for the next generation who holds the gifts that she has. And she knew it was going to skip her kids. She knew it was going to skip her kids because she said, yes, your mother. I knew. I just didn't want to say nothing, y'all. I don't want to say nothing because I'm like, I know who it is, y'all. I be knowing. I just don't be calling it out, but it was your mother. Your mother was prancing around being her. Oh, it makes, it was so fucking foul and disgusting and disturbing that she would wear her clothes. Okay, come eat. Come get some food. Walk around and prance around as if there was a grandma. And then act like her son, everything that belonged to your grandmother, she acted as if it was hers. As if it generally belonged to her. That's why her and your uncle is so close, because she really raised him. Because she wanted that position as his mother. She felt like that was her first son. This is your mother. The one who took care of your Grammy. Because she wasn't going to have me call her grandma like everybody else. No, because she knew it was going to be different. So if I was alive, she was going to have me call her something different, because it was your mother who did this. And I know it was. I visually saw them prancing around with her stuff on. They did it while she was alive, too. You don't think she heard the way all of a sudden her child's voice changed? All of a sudden she sees her and she told her, take it off. Because she was pissed that she had the audacity to try to wear her clothes and look like her as she's on her deathbed. So she didn't wait till she passed, y'all. If y'all thinking that family members wait till they pass to pick up a persona, yes, it gets stronger when they pass, right? Because then they feel like they can really play you. They said, continue your YouTube reading. So they want me to be on here. I told y'all, I don't just get on here because I feel like it's fun. Because again, I could be on other stuff, not to sound rude or mean, but. So this is pretty much, they want me to continue the reading. So what do I need to know about grandmother? Because I know my mother was involved in this. And my mother thought she was going to get that house. But she didn't know what my granddad did. See, granddad had a plan. My mother had a plan. Her sisters had a plan. Everybody had a plan. Except for, the little uncle. But everybody had a plan involved in this. Everybody. Yep. And everybody's pretending that they don't know. So everybody in the family is pretending like they have no idea what's going on. Okay? They're pretending as if nothing ever happened. Oh, thank you. You love my minis. 10th house prophetess. Thank you. Girl, because I be making them long now because they just be going. But I'm going to start making them. I want to kind of make them shorter, even my mini reads. So your father. Because I'm trying to go back and see how everybody was involved in this particular situation. Because there was a lot going on. Okay? So let's pull cards. Tell me more about my mother and pretending to be my grandmother and pretending to have my grandmother's gifts and persona, pretending to be caring and loving and classy like grandmother, knowing she's straight from the hood. Knowing she's straight, she don't, look at y'all. They thought they can play you. See, so what happens is if I were to ever pass, they were going to try to pretend to be me. Dress like me. All of a sudden, she likes to wear leggings and that long. I used to like to wear like kind of long sweaters that cover my butt and it was long sleeve. So like they try to dress like you. They keep your stuff. Same way she tried to keep your grandmother's stuff for her, even though she couldn't fit it. She tried to keep your stuff. You wear 9.5. Why the fuck? She wears 6. She wears a 6. Why does she have 9.5 in her closet? You can't even fit my shoes. But you want to have them in your closet if you can wear my shoes. These are people trying to pretend and wear your shoes even though they can't fit them. And that's confirmation right there on my phone. They have the shoes in the closet pretending as if they can't fit them. Or pretend as if they can wear them. They can be in your shoes. When in reality, they can't even fit them. They feet too small. Their thought process too small. They're too small. They can't fit them. Right? Right? They can't fit them. That was confirmation. Y'all heard my phone ding. So these people try to play you, try to wear your shoes, literally walk in your shoes just so they can feel like you. They keep your stuff around, your clothes, your stuff like that because it makes them feel better. They start dressing like you. Right? So this is how this individual does. They study you just like they studied your grandmother. They studied your grandmother, her spiritual gifts, how she talked, how she dressed, how she wore things. They studied it. They studied people's personas and tried to become them. Okay? But connected to God. Okay? Yep, they thought they can play you, literally. Not just play you for finances, for games, for stuff like that, but play you and study you, but play you, like play you. So the first card that came out said laugh. They said laugh. There's a list of what? Let me see. Natalie, what is there a list of? There's a list of something. List of the people involved. List of the things they've done. List of how they did it and who all knows about it. That's why they don't want people to contact the neighbors. See, if anybody in that era, they want to stay away from and disconnect from them so they don't know what happened and what goes down. They don't want other people to know. Okay, this card keeps popping up. This popped out. This was the first card in my reading. This is when I realized I need to go on live because I was channeling cards, making more cards, and this came on, and I knew I was supposed to come on live. The family was jealous. Here it comes back again. Trying to take grandmother's spiritual gifts. Okay? Stuff that was passed on. Okay? And they're mad that it wasn't them. They're like, why can't I be like that? Why? Okay? They cried. They wished. They asked. They begged. But they didn't even realize what it takes to walk in somebody else's shoes who was spiritual. Okay, not pretend. And because if you a 6.5, ain't no way you should have 9.5s in your closet. You can't fit them. You ain't, look, Cinderella. Look, they want to be Cinderella so bad. Like, y'all know Cinderella went through a lot, but then they had the nerve to the end try to wear Cinderella's shoes and pretend that they were Cinderella. Okay, they want to pretend that, you know, they can fit the shoe that was not made for them in that glass. It wasn't made for them. Okay? And Cinderella, she didn't even, y'all see Cinderella went back to her thing. Right? It wasn't made for them. But they want to be Cinderella so bad at the time of victory. Not going through all the hard stuff, cleaning up, going through all the stuff that she had to go through, being degraded, being humiliated, talk to all this type of way. They didn't want her to be her then. They just wanted to be her then when the glass shipper showed up and they knew that they could be somebody. So let me try to put on these shoes. They did that with the grandma. They did that with people with spiritual gifts. Okay? They watch tarot readings too. So they can pretend, I got a vision. I got a vision. Bitch, if you don't sit the fuck down, who told you that? Who told you that? Because you didn't have no vision. Who really told you that? Like, bruh. And you know, and everybody's spiritual gifts different. There's different levels to people's different spiritual gifts. So I'm not saying like maybe some people are just a little bit spiritual or some people have a little bit of gifts. Some people have more, you know, passed down some from generations. So not everybody's on the same level with the spiritual gifts, okay? Everybody has different levels to stuff and different ways to do stuff. But when you pretend and when you're really getting the information from somebody else, that's a problem. It says they're all karmic. They are studying you and experimenting on you. This is an experiment. They're doing an experiment. But they study your persona. They study how you are. Okay? They're also experimenting you for real. The powers and principalities of this world. The hospital's experimenting on you because they know you have a high level of pain level. They know who you really are. So they went ahead and they experimented on you even when you was giving birth. They put you on a level that was almost, you knew that was torturing because you visually saw it when you were in and out of consciousness. Because they put you on the highest. If most people can't take 14 contractions. The max is normally 24. Because people can't even make it to 14, so you know they don't really max out. Because if I was all the way, on 34? For 4 days, nonstop. Even when I had my epidural in me, they kept it on me. So how the fuck, and I was like, why would you keep an epidural while I'm getting an epidural? Y'all gonna keep the contractions going? Because we wanted to get your baby out because my baby wasn't moving. So they went in, and only because my baby wasn't moving, I allowed it. Because y'all know any other time, I told them, do you want me to turn this off myself? Because they put it on such a high level because they know I have a high level of tolerance of their bullshit and with pain. So they amped it up and they watched me and they experimented on me and I saw y'all know how y'all see that hidden wall in FBI places and that hidden wall and stuff like that. They're literally studying you, like really studying you. So it's not just your family who's studying other family members trying to pick on personas, but this is hospital study people who they know from their blood who they are. These are different people studying individuals, okay? And this comes from family. So family does it too. But this has started with this is experiment. This is actually like a social life experiment as well. It says study philosophy. See, when it comes to experiments and philosophy, you see how that's coming together? Y'all see what I'm saying? So study that because it has a lot to do with the experiment, okay? Because you need to know more about the experiment that they're doing, because then you could educate the masses more if you can figure out who started that experiment. But there's many different people experimenting on you. It's the hospital, it's the hotels, it's different people doing different experiences. So you got to just study them. Sorry, you guys, we're just having a conversation. Give me 1 second. Because this is more for me, so I can give you guys messages that you guys need to hear. You get what I'm saying? So some stuff, again, is for me. Not that I don't want to discuss it, but you see how quick it's coming? It's coming so quick that by the time I say it, we're on a whole nother thing. So why would I go stop? You get what I'm saying? Talk about your grandpa. Because, see, grandpa got a lot to do with grandma's passing, too. He wouldn't have been able to sell the house if she was still alive. He wouldn't have been able to sell the house for pennies on a dime if she was still alive. Because her signature was needed because that was her house. But they had the death certificate. So what happened? And they went and said, oh, well, it was an accident. Oh, well, he wasn't in the right state of mind. That was planned. What are you talking about? That's planned. It's planned. Because if somebody passes and you immediately sell their stuff for pennies on the dime, and they're going to say, well, he didn't know it was there. You didn't think he knew where it was at? Why would grandmother have to hide a deed to begin with? Why would my grandmother have to hide the deed? That's a red flag right there. See, nobody asks the right questions because they don't have enough knowledge to ask the right questions. Why was the deed hidden to begin with? Because it was hidden. They said it was hidden with a whole bunch of pennies and dimes and stuff and hidden. Why would they hide it? Why would she hide it there or feel the need to hide it in a house with her family? If grandmother felt safe around these individuals, why would she hide the will and the deed there? And how did he know? Or they say, well, he didn't know it was in there. He didn't know that the deed was in that place when he sold that item. He had no idea. Do I need to pull on that? Yeah, pull from this one. I'm not even looking at it. What's that? They can't figure you out, vampire. Why would she have to hide stuff from her family like that? Something so valuable from them. She had a lot of valuable stuff, but that was big. Why? Especially her partner, her mate. Why did she allow him to have a whole nother house outside of her house to do his dealings? Because she knew this ain't. But it was a journey she was already on, so she accepted her journey. She accepted it because she accepts her truth. She accepts her truth. But it's deeper than you know. Shaman, now, tarot readings on the back of this. Shaman, now, tarot reading. Don't focus too much on the past. Okay. So let's not focus back on that too much because who they said that, how was he even into drugs? If he's a hardworking man, how did he get into drugs? Did somebody know something? Did somebody tell him, go bring me that because they knew the deed was in there? Like, who's asking the right questions here? Because y'all don't want me to be an FBI. Y'all don't want me to be, because I ask the questions for real, the questions. See, everybody don't want to ask the difficult questions. They want to ask the easy questions like, oh, how are you feeling? Well, how did that affect you? Bitch, what? Make it make sense. Okay, have you felt cold lately? And get behind me, Satan, because God saw everything. God saw everything. God saw these people's intentions. God saw them prancing around the house and pretending that they was your mother and had your grandmother and had spiritual gifts. God saw that. God saw it all. And yes, it was your mother. You remember, it had a lot to do with it. She thought she was going to take over the house, take over everything, because the other two The other sisters and stuff was gone. So she thought she was going to take over and just literally play grandma. So the sickness and the illness started when she was a kid. Talk about grandpa again. What am I missing about your grandpa? He does drugs because he knows what he's done. They're all karmics, even Graham. Somebody's mad you don't want to deal with them anymore. What happened back in that time with that house? Something happened with that house. That house is a big symbolism of something. Something happened in that house. I'm getting the house didn't even like him. Like the house didn't even like him. They didn't care about that house like that. They didn't tend to the house that they should have. But she thought they can play your grandmother and be your grandmother, and that they was going to be successful at it. Again, pops up, yes, your mother. Your mother thought she can play your grandmother and literally be your grandmother. They said to watch comedy, they mad that you're making your own rules about things, and all the songs you used to listen to relate to now. Okay, well, I'll channel a song if need be. You guys give me 1 second, and then I'm just going to pull one more card. What's under my foot? Okay, it's a blank card, so I was going to read it to y'all after this, but give me like 2 minutes. I'm going to double check. All right. So if you guys are getting back in, we were talking about grandmother and how the gifts that she had. Your grandmother was intuitive. She just came from the family. This comes down the line. It doesn't just start with one individual. These gifts start with the family, right? It starts from generation to generation. It's passed down, okay? And these gifts were passed down, and they knew that they weren't going to get them. They knew because they didn't possess those certain types of gifts. So they knew they didn't have them, but they wanted to play that persona as if they had them. They wanted the fortune. They wanted all the blessings of another individual instead of trying to do the healing. You know, and they didn't even like each other. Yep. So some of you guys resonate with this reading. Because this is a generational thing. If y'all break the generational curses, y'all need to know what happens in the generations before you. And then you'll know why you at where you at. Because it's not necessarily that some of the family members are still alive. Okay? And these ancestors are coming to you like, okay, like, come on. We need this justice over here. Give us the justice we deserve because that was so unjust. Okay? Then what you talk about your father. How does my father have anything to do with that during that time? Was he around? Let me pull more cards on that. But it's different family members. Okay? Yep, y'all. It says your father. Because the story has it that he wasn't around. But we need to dig deeper. We need to dig deeper in this. Okay? So I'm going to pull a few more cards. We're not going to make this one long because I want to do another live where we focus on something different. Let's see. You're right about everything. And yes, your mother. Then it says mother again. Y'all. It says mother double. So they're like, yeah, your mother and God saw everything. That's why this person can sleep at night because she's messing with the bloodline. Your mother's messing with the bloodline with everybody. Okay? They even tried to belittle you. Okay? They tried to belittle you in your gifts, even though they knew from the beginning what it was, and you figured out their plan. You figured out all their plans before it even happened. You knew what was going to happen. You figured it out. So don't trust anybody. Don't trust not one person on this earth. And they said to focus. You'll meet your soul family, but don't worry. Don't focus on that because it'll come to you when it needs to come. It says you allowed God to use you when you didn't even know what was really going on, but you knew God. So you allowed him to use you for whatever you needed him to use you for. You didn't even question. You didn't ask him why. You didn't ask him how. You didn't ask him when. You didn't ask him, well, can you give me this? You didn't even say none of that. You just said, okay. Okay? And it says, you'll be okay. You'll be okay because you know God. Okay, we're going to do one more card. Oh, it was a cover-up. So, I just saw it and it fell and then my phone dinged. It was a cover-up. So it wasn't just a cover-up with you. It was a cover-up with family as well. It was a cover-up with your grandmother. Your grandmother's death was a cover-up. How did she really die? What was the biopsy? What was really said in the quarantine? You need to go look it up. Go look up the cause of her death. Go look at the cause of your grandmother's death because it was not the real cause of your grandmother's death. It was all money-related, greed-related, and sick individuals trying to be. It was a cover-up. Your grandmother's death was a cover-up, and it says you know the truth in the back. And this happened, y'all, like in the 80s, maybe 80s, 70s, maybe. I wasn't on, but I know your uncle. What does my uncle have to do with this? See, this says uncle here, and then let's see in the back. What's this? Pastor told you. So when I was a kid, I had a ring on. I'm gonna read it for you guys first, and I'll tell you what happened. And can we say this for another video? Nope. All right, fine. So pastor told you to take off the old ring because the curse and ritual was involved. Your mother gave it to you when you was a kid, and she knew. So my mother and my father's wedding ring, she took the diamond out, and she gave it to me. Of course, she took the diamond out, right? Because, you know, even though I'm the diamond in the rough, she takes the diamond out, she gave it to me. Well, we went to church, one of these churches she didn't pick out from her friends, whatever, we go. And he says that he wanted to touch everybody, so he touched our hand. And when he touched everybody's hand, he gave them like a little message, right? And my mother, of course, what did he say to you? What did he say about you? Because she wanted to know if he's going to reveal to me who I really am, right? So he touches my hand. He says, take that off. I said, what? What? He said, take it off, and he kept moving. And then so I go to my mom, and she says, he goes, well, what did he tell you? What did he tell you? You know, she didn't really care what they said to other sisters. She didn't really care. She asked me what they said, and I said, well, he told me to take it off. And he actually said generational curse, but I didn't even know what that was at that time. So I was just like, he said generational, and she looked. She says, give me the ring. She takes it from me, and she puts it in her purse and slides it in there, and then kept going as if nothing happened. She knew when she gave it to me. See, people do stuff to jewelry all the time. She knew. Okay? She knew. But there was a ritual done. Okay, so when she got the ring from him, there was a ritual on that ring. Okay? It was a ritual done on the ring when she got the ring from him. Okay? Then she gets the ring, and she does her dark shit, the shit she has no business doing, with that hand with the ring on it. But the same hand that had the ring on it is the same hand she used. I don't know which hand, whatever. I don't know. It's the same hand. Because I actually wear it on a different ring so people didn't know I was married. So I kind of got confused on which ring is where. Just whatever. So she wore it, was doing her dark shit with it. Then she hands it down to me. She gave my sister the necklace, or my sister the other thing. She gave me the ring. Their wedding ring. Mind you, they got divorced. They wasn't together. All this stuff was happening between them. All this bad shit had happened between them, and she gave me that ring. Why the fuck would you give me that ring like that when you know the situation that happened and the jewelry that happened? Why would you want that on me? She did it because she wants the same thing to happen. Like I'm gonna repeat a cycle. See, because family members who are haters, right? What they do is they want you to go through. They want you to go through all this shit. So she had me wear a ring with all these different energies, all this different stuff. Right? They're manipulating people. So it's almost over. She wanted me to wear this ring, right? But the pastor told me to take it off. So I took it off. I had no idea, you know. But they're saying bring that back up because that's a lot to do with generational curses. Right? People want you to go through things. People are hoping you go through certain things and then you stay stuck in it. But however, you keep moving, going past it. Same with your grandmother. She tried to put you in a freezer to stop your progress. So this is progress being stopped, okay? So I need you guys to go to the beginning, spiritual birth. I need you guys to go to the beginning of my reading. And I want you guys to watch about grandmother and what people do and how they do it and how they really, it's an injustice. So people who have spiritual gifts usually know what happened to their ancestors, you dumb. Like if my ancestors are helping guiding me and I'm connected with my ancestors, you don't think they're going to tell me how they really passed? You don't think they're going to tell me what really went down? You don't think they're going to bring me there so I can see how it really happened? A beautiful house, though, I must admit. I love it. But, damn. The history behind that house, everybody that's been in their house, there's been some shit. Period. I never went back. I don't know what the house, how it is, but everybody who's been in that house, there's been some problems going on. Because there's so much history, so much things that happened. That happened. And the person who they sold the house to, I'll talk about everything, y'all. It went through their hands like liquid. Nobody was able to hold on to that house. No, it like went through. It went through in ways they didn't imagine. And yes, they had it in their hands for a little minute. Yes, they felt good when they had it, but for whatever reason, it seeped through their fingers because it wasn't meant for them. Okay, we're gonna end this here because we making these way too long, y'all. But it needs to be, have you felt cold lately? Okay, so we're gonna stop it here. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do another live because I don't want them to be too long because I want you to pay attention. And I'm going to keep these cards like this because I just saw one card that says talk about your aunts, because your aunts had something to do with it too, because the whole family was involved. But your aunts have something to do with it too. So don't just skip people. Let it be known who was all involved in this, because this was a whole cover up with the whole family. Everybody wanted a piece. Everybody wanted a piece of the pie. Okay? But had nothing to do with baking it. Nothing. But they want a piece. Okay, and they don't want to ask for a piece, right? Because they know they didn't contribute to it. So what they're going to try to do is, while you're not looking or while you're in a comfortable place or a vulnerable place, they're going to try to slip the whole pie. They ain't going to take a little piece and get the little piece of the crust. Or take a little slice or make themselves a little small slice so nobody notices. No, they're going to just, let me get this. Oh, the pie fell. Yeah. Knowing they got the pie. That's the type of behavior that be happening, y'all. Literally. So, but I'm going to end it here. We're going to do another live in just a second. Because I'm about to get off of here. Because we want to keep them at a certain length. So that way they can really view my videos and really get the message and the lessons within the information I'm giving the collective. Okay. So we're going to get off here. Okay. Let's see. Let's end this here.